I unmuted you during that, just so you know. You were saying so for so long. I thought they should hear it.
Yeah, nobody should hear me.
Well, they hear you now. Too bad.
Yeah.
They hear you. They see the screen. I'm less frantic than last time, which means that I have actually... Ah! Hi, Magic. Thank you. Thanks, Magic.
I see explosions.
I keep missing the explosions. What explosions are you talking about?
The explosions scare me. It has been... Wait, why doesn't Joe have the first? Because Joe was literally the first, and the first is the first 10.
Is it Prime?
No.
I'm confused. I don't know.
So the first one by Magic is literally saying Magic is... Oh, okay. That is literally saying I am one of the first people to subscribe to this channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it's like the first 10 or so on affiliate.
Gift a sub now to be number 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Technically, they can give subs to be one of the.
Unfortunately, the badge is hard to see on dark mode, so you still can't really see the badge. We should get that edited.
What we should also do?
Start.
Probably self-promote better.
Yeah. I'll wait until we have like the final working versions, and then I'll post it all on Twitter along with the shout out to the artist who did it, because she deserves a shout out for the good work she did.
Oh yeah, no. Gotta
boost those artists.
All of the fun stuff that is coming is
so many artists boost coming soon.
So many artists to boost, it's kind of insane.
But yes. At tier 1 you get spoiler no spoiling. It's a little hard to read, so they need to get that fixed too. And at tier 2 you get the furter. And on our Discord everyone just gets furter for free, along with confused ace noises.
Yeah, well,
along with bonus Sharky. And bonus other Sharky.
Yeah, why? There's too many sharks.
Look, technically, according to you, the bat for spoiler no spoiling is me. That's why it's yelling. Because it's me yelling at people.
But now it's 2-1. It's not even.
There's a good amount of sharks.
And because...
See, technically, me on Discord, the Satan among our emojis, emote things, is the spoiler no spoiling. I'm supposed to be the bat, apparently, because Sharky and my roommate have both independently asserted that I am a bat.
You are totally a bat.
Apparently. I was thinking about it more, because I was trying to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna be for Halloween. And
a bat?
I'm not gonna be a bat. It's not canon on this channel.
Well, I'm not gonna be left shark either. That don't mean jack.
Sharks are endangered, Sharky. You can't limit their numbers more by removing them from the emotes. Yeah, we have to save the sharks by putting all Sharky emotes.
We need to save them.
We'll just add like 30 Sharky emotes. That sounds perfect.
No! The only, save
Sharkies!
No, look, this isn't Professor Sharky. We need to limit the sharks. The sharks can't overrun the place, because this isn't a Professor Sharky channel.
It's not. You're just kind of the mascot.
I'm not a mascot.
You will be shortly. Anyway, hit the lever. Spank the lever. Let's go.
I don't want to spank the lever. That sounds dangerous.
I don't know. Hit, spank. Aren't they basically the same? Spank the lever. That's totally what it says.
Ah, yes, Joe. Spank it hard.
Need multiple Professor Sharkies. They're needed to teach at Atlantis University. And Kingdom Hearts University.
No, Atlantis University. The best place you need to go to, AU.
What? That Kingdom Hearts is a bunch of AUs, actually, though?
But, like,
the shitty crossover fanfic turned into a game.
That was the setup. It is AU.
It is the future year 20XX. Kingdom Hearts 4 is still in production.
Okay, now that just is mean and hurts on a personal level. You don't need to attack me that hard.
Sorry, but they have recently come out with Kingdom Hearts 3.2.
Okay, you don't need to hurt me that hard. That's such a really, really deep cut right there. Hey, you, go fighting Megalodons.
My dream has come true. Kingdom Hearts 4 is finally in production. Kingdom Hearts Pie.
1592653589799. That's the only one I know.
You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if they did Kingdom Hearts Pie and just made it like purely World Ends With You crossover.
See,
so many personal attacks today.
See, I can totally see the pie joke, or like the number joke also getting stabbed at Nier right now. Cause have you seen the Nier new name? Have you seen the new name?
No, but you know what? It's made by Square Enix.
It is literally called, cause it's a remake of the first Nier game, Nier Replicant. It is called Nier Replicant version 1.224744871139.
I'm sorry, is that a phone number? ... How many digits are there? Is that a phone number I hear?
It's a little bit too long for a phone number. It's one digit too long.
Maybe it's got an extension.
Extension 9.
Yep. Okay, let's be honest. If you asked me 2 months ago if my dream involves being the event coordinator of Video Arcade, I'd have just stared at you kind of funny because I was still waiting for Kingdom Hearts 4.
I think it's no, it also would be a little bit too long for social too.
A social security number is shorter than a phone number. Because a phone number is 334 digits.
Yeah, it's
social security is 324.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a credit card number.
Wow. Oh, you don't know about the exclusive social security numbers for the rich people?
This is to mark you rich at birth.
Exactly. Isn't that how it works?
For people declared to be enemies of the state. Oh, so they're not for the rich people, they're for the poor people.
Oh, okay.
That's not very exclusive, though.
That's literally everyone. How did we get here? What happened? What is happening?
It sounds ridiculous.
How did we get to this point? What is happening right now? I'm so confused.
99.97%. It excludes the top 0.03% of rich people.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh. Sorry. A little more Kingdom Hearts thing. 3 songs of the new game are "This Is Halloween," "Kill Me Now,"
This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
"One Winged Angel," Scream, Sephiroth, and "Calling."
Oh my god. Wait, I need this demo now. Fuck.
Oh, well, it might not be in the demo. It might just be in the full game.
Okay, well, fine. I still need that. They are all bops.
I don't
Every single one.
I don't know what's in the demo.
This is Halloween.
I have blocked
Halloween.
everything. So like I'm going to be downloading at midnight, and hopefully I don't stay up too late and go to sleep instead of playing it. Please pray for me, or whatever you do.
All right, I'll be sure to do a satanic ritual for you. Light some candles, summon some demons to help you. That's what you want, right? You said whatever you do.
I'll look my dapperest for the villainous gentleman of doom and destruction.
Satanic ritual count as praying against someone. You can do a satanic ritual in someone's favor, probably.
Wait,
I mean, most of the time, if people... Like, I feel like the trope of a satanic ritual is actually for your own benefit, so I don't see why you can't just redirect them, ask them to do it for someone else's benefit instead. It's just that the stereotype is of a bunch of selfish assholes, but actually the Satanists, I think, are less selfish than the Christians right now.
Wait, they all slap. What are the songs slapping? How do songs slap? Please explain.
They all spank. They all spank. Though I do if I want to cause some mischief. Also summon a demon. Satanic rituals are obviously very, very, adaptable. They can have many uses.
So what you're saying is this Friday I should play the game Hades? Mm-hmm. And we can all be confused ace noises at everyone calling all the characters hot?
I mean, it's very pretty art, aesthetically.
It is extremely pretty. I was just playing it. It is extremely pretty and a lot of fun. I should probably
get that, I guess.
Oh, it is so much fun. I'm on my third run and I'd already beaten 2 of the bosses and I don't know how. And I literally don't know how. I am confused. It's so much fun. This is your dream as well as mine. I was debating getting Hades instead of getting a different game. What game did you get instead?
Pretty art and characters. Yeah, because it's also by Supergiant, right?
Yeah, it is a Supergiant game, and Supergiant
Which all their stuff's gorgeous.
Oh.
All the time.
I could not get into Bastion, and I've never tried Transistor.
Okay, both of those are like really good games that I am bad at. I think that's the best summary of it, is that I am bad at a lot of video games. Ooh, Wonder Song. I feel like I've heard of that.
Oh my gosh.
It sounds really
yes.
cute.
No, Wonder Song is adorable. I just watched a playthrough of it, and it was really adorable and also about the end of the world. So, it is adorable and the music is phenomenal.
Game Pass?
Yeah, I think it's on Game Pass. I know it's on Switch and PC. It is worth spending your time playing because the characters are great, the music is wonderful, the bard is adorable. He is hopelessly optimistic, and it's kind of sad. Oh no, yes, she would love Miriam. She would love Miriam.
I had a coworker named Miriam, who's also a little bit grumpy. More sarcastic than grumpy. I was the grumpy one, probably. She would sarcastically scold me for being grumpy.
Yes, Miriam is grumpy and at everything, and it is phenomenal.
Sarcastic mermaids.
Yeah, the sarcastic
my
mermaids.
roommate just, my roommate and another friend of mine that I had just talked to for the first time in months because of quarantine. But they were both highly recommending Carol and Tuesday. And there's
I need to watch that.
There's the Mermaid Sisters, where the lyrics to their song are just like, fuck you! Fuck you!
In which way?
Huh? Like a fuck off way?
Okay. Oh, and you got Spirit Fair? Ooh, I hear that one's also very pretty. Also long.
There's so many good games out there, and I'm so bad at games and so slow at games.
And then there's me, who you say I'm very good and I play way too quickly.
You do. I had how much of a head start on you, and you still catch up or pass me on games all the time.
Look, you beat 15 before me. And
how long did I have that before you?
What?
I got that on
You got that on launch day, and I got that on Christmas Day.
Launch date.
Yeah. You had to scream at me to finish so you could talk to somebody about it.
Well, that's because I wanted to throw the controller at the wall for the one thing, but I'm not going to talk about that in case of spoilers.
Spoiler, no spoiler.
Then because I'll scream.
You're the grandma I've never had, Francine.
Excuse me, I'm Francine. Why are you doing her voice?
I actually was looking at my hours played on my Switch the other day, and I have some games that I've played way too much.
Me looking at my Animal Crossing hours. Ugh, God.
How many hours do you have on Animal Crossing?
Like over 400 now?
Holy crap. I think my highest is... might be Hyrule Warriors at like 250 something.
Well, the thing is that I've been playing Animal Crossing consistently.
Yeah.
And like for the first couple weeks, I was playing a lot. Now I play a lot less. It's like maybe an hour or 2 max per day. But if it's every single day, like, it adds up.
Oh, Joe, I didn't really start picking my Switch back up until very recently. So, same kind of.
It's okay. I usually go through long stretches of not touching my Switch. The thing is that quarantine exists.
Yeah, that's fair.
A lot of people got burnt out on it. I was just about to basically stop, but then October started, which means all the Halloween content is there, and I, a goth, could not resist. You grow pumpkins to make pumpkin items. Pumpkins everywhere!
But what if instead I want to play Hades where I can just, like, say screw you to Hades himself?
I also recently went back to Breath of the Wild.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for Age of Calamity, and the only reason is because I flippin' love Hyrule Warriors. Like, I could care kind of less.
I feel like a lot of people are hyped for that one because
only because of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but like they're basically expecting the same gameplay as Breath of the Wild, and that's what worries me.
No, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna, like, they're gonna talk about all this stuff, and I'm like, no, Hyrule Warriors gameplay, yes.
I mean, you can be excited for both.
Yeah.
I have a suspicion that a lot of the people excited for it are expecting the same kind of gameplay as Breath of the Wild, which it's not.
Or expecting, like, super deep lore, like,
yeah.
And it's gonna be like, nah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The designs are amazing.
Summer of Mara. What's that?
Summer of Mara. What is that one? I feel like I remember it.
I'm like, I feel out of my depth. All of these games that I feel like I've heard of half these games. And
I've seen the trailer for Summer of Mara. I haven't seen any gameplay of it. Looks like literally description on Steam. Take care of your own island and explore the ocean in this farming adventure.
I think I saw that. Or something like it.
It mixes farming, crafting, and exploring mechanic in a tropical archipelago with a colorful style and strong narrative. Yeah, I haven't seen anything on that, but I feel like I've seen it, but I haven't, like, seen much of it.
I need the new Harvest Moon remake. I need that new Harvest Moon remake. The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. No, that sounds interesting.
I haven't heard of that one.
There's so many games that I need to catch up on. I have like a 300 game backlog on Steam, and then I just keep hearing about other cool games, and I want those instead.
Oh my gosh, that has such good art. Oh my gosh, that has
too many games.
Oh my gosh, though, no, this has such good art. I love it.
I think there was literally like an indie game festival thing called Too Many Games. And I almost went a couple times, and I never actually did. But I feel like that's a good summary. And that's what I think of every time the phrase Too Many Games pops up. The princess is actually a wolf who accidentally blinded the prince and is now trying to help him regain his sight. That sounds so cool!
That just reminds me that I need to go back and actually play through, what was it called? What was that Ubisoft game called?
Ew, Yubi.
I bought it like forever ago.
Okay, I'm just saying, ew, Yubi.
crap, what was it called? I forget.
Ever since all the sexual assault stuff from Yubi came out, I'm just like, ew, Yubi. And then all the Black Lives Matter shit. Yeah, I'm just...
There's so many games. There's so many good games. I never knew my grandmothers, either of them. They died when I was really young.
They were eaten by a wolf. Spank is Little Red Riding Hood. And a shark.
Little Red Spanking Hood?
Little Spank Riding Hood.
None of these sound good. I feel like you filled that role. You've become the grandmother I never had, Miss Francine. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, if it's Spank, wouldn't Little Red Bottom make this? Oh my gosh. Magic, why are you two so funny? Why are you two so funny? Why are they funnier than us?
Because that's not hard to be the funnier.
That's fair. That is very fair.
Okay, so instead of bottom, top, bottom, what I'm hearing is that the next character is bottom, red, bottom.
Oh yes, of the red bottom lineage.
It's the childhood trauma of an undiagnosed melting illness. You know.
No, you can't be top red bottom, because Queen Bee's the top.
Well, we can't be top if she's top.
Exactly. Also, Magic, probably same, but I didn't grow funny. Top is just the name. They're not actually a top. It's ironic.
We can make MC switch. Top switch bottom. Like Alanis said.
What?
Alanis Morissette?
Who?
Isn't it ironic, the song?
Who?
Hello, my name is Nintendo Switch. Nice to meet you. No, it's Nintendo. Because copyright.
Yes,
Joe's concerned that you don't know this song.
I don't know who that person is.
You don't know who Alanis Morissette is? You know, I would agree, except I'm not at all surprised. Although, fun fact, she recently did like a little feature interlude thing on Halsey's Manic album. It's a pretty good song.
The catchphrase is the little kick sound. Also, I'm sorry, I have no idea who that is either.
Well, you're baby.
Yeah, Magic is baby.
Magic is baby, and apparently so are you. You're baby living under a rock, actually.
Exactly, Magic is baby. Sharky don't have excuse.
Magic is baby, so I don't expect Magic to necessarily know. Sharky, you always say how we're not that far apart in age. You should know.
Okay, but we had vastly different growing up experiences.
You know who Britney Spears is? Technically.
Yes.
Avril Lavigne?
I know the name.
So why don't you know Alanis Morissette?
Because why? I grew up with those names. If this was a person from recently, I don't follow
It is not someone from recently. Not at all.
Then I don't know.
When is that song from, actually? It's okay, Joe. I've got you. I know.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
What do you mean, wait,
Magic?
what?
Magic?
Wait, there's a conspiracy theory on Avril Lavigne?
Wait, what? We're never gonna get to the end of this chapter. Wait,
That's
what?
why I was like, Oh, okay. I guess Ironic was released in 96. Technically, I only heard it like years later, but that she died?
Where would I know this person from?
From the song Ironic.
Okay, but where would I have heard that?
It's famous.
Okay. Just because it's famous don't mean I know it.
She died and was replaced with a clone.
I don't think that's how it works.
What do you mean? They just, she was a twin.
Can I die and get replaced with a clown?
It's a meme because the lyrics are not ironic at all. Yup.
See, here's the thing. I don't follow memes.
It was popular before it was meme. It's a meme because it got popular.
Okay, but I don't know this song, so how should I know?
Welcome home, Spank. You'll always be welcome here.
Justin Trudeau is secretly Fidel Castro's illegitimate son in terms of completely wild theories. Yes, I'm moving on for you, Joe, because I'm also like, Sharky, you should have heard of this, but I'm also not at all surprised, so let's just move on. With another deep sigh. Francine eases herself out of her chair. I feel like Francine now. Like, for real. Damn!
Oh, okay, but, like, you do realize that, like, that there's going to be a lot more of this, of you being confused at things I don't know.
I'm not confused at it, I'm just annoyed. That's
I'm speaking to Joe.
Now, I think I'll take your suggestion. Head on home. Well, for today, anyway.
Oh no.
If you want to leave and never come back,
Don't
I understand.
Be.
Yes, and cross that bridge when we get there.
I'll be here bright and early in the morning to hear how things went with Mr. Nami. I know you'll make the right decision.
We do need you, Joe. Don't leave. And don't have a mental breakdown, please. I understand you.
I mean, I can understand wanting to leave if I'm the cause of a mental breakdown. That's pretty bad.
Good night, Spank. Be well.
Not going anywhere!
Great. Good. Stay. Stay with us. Though I'm truly, after all this, I'm just like, I really feel Francine more than I otherwise would. Her voice is just my voice now.
I'm just old and tired of Sharky not knowing about anything.
Sorry, I thought I was the professor. Do professors need education?
Professors should be constantly re-educating themselves and learning new things.
Can you tell that to the professors of our old college?
Be well.
Make the right decision. Okay. The right decision, I suppose, is not to blast the Alanis Morissette song here. So
No, it's not.
It'd be like teaching my old man chemistry professor the term mood.
I do know that one. I do know that one.
You just don't know vibe.
I just don't know vibe.
We're all vibing here except for Sharky, who does not understand the concept of vibing.
Is that just when I play a game and I murder thousands of people?
No.
Oh. And yeah, I still don't understand it.
Oh, Sharky, your vibes, they are off the charts.
Because they don't exist? Because I'm not vibrating?
Maybe if you scream louder, you'll start vibrating.
Okay, but then I'm going to disturb my neighbors.
Oh, you're vibrating!
How am I vibrating?
You're making sounds. The vibrations of your vocal cords. Here, let me demonstrate, as the Gengar I apparently am.
Yeah, you are Gengar that goes brah.
I showed my roommate that Gengar. She's like, ah! Anyway.
I found a random Gengar and I'm like, I'm gonna catch it, and then I caught it.
But I feel like I should be specifically that one with a really big mouth.
So that one, when it Gigantamaxes, the one I caught, it becomes the one that goes blah.
Okay. As long as at some point I go blah.
No, that's why you named it. It goes blah.
Blah. Yep. So why do people try to... You're vibrating like a nice molecule treated with infrared radiation to detect its chemical groups.
Content.
I know. I'm thankful you think so.
Also, vibrating like a nice molecule treated with infrared radiation to detect its chemical groups.
I read that already, thank you.
No, but I'm trying to understand it, because I never took chemistry in college. A little bit of chemistry I took was...
Alright, Magic, we're not smart enough for your joke. Please explain.
It was, what's the periodic table? Here's how element compounds work. Okay.
Can we explain that to the anti-vaxxers?
Please explain. But is my spleen gone now?
You know, I first read that at Spain. Please, Spain, take Columbus back. We don't want him.
But he's Italian.
I don't care. They funded him, didn't they?
I thought that was Portugal.
Was it?
I thought it was Portugal because I think Spain didn't want him.
Maybe Spain also didn't want him.
Wait, the molecules, they see the heat and they start vibing. Their vibes are specific to the atoms present, so oxygen vibes are different than nitrogen vibes. Please, Spank. Is that more what you expect of me? Maybe? I mean, that sounds very similar to what you would say. But no, I'm not gonna spank. Interesting, Magic. Interesting.
No, it was Spain.
Oh, I thought it was Portugal.
By about 1484, Columbus presented his plans to King John II of Portugal. He proposed that the king equip 3 sturdy ships and grant Columbus 1 year's time to sail out into the Atlantic. Columbus also requested he be made Great Admiral of the Ocean.
Well, didn't you just say Portugal, not Spain?
I'm getting to that.
Oh.
The king submitted Columbus's proposal to his experts, who rejected it.
Ah, okay.
It was their considered opinion that Columbus's estimation of a travel distance of 2,400 miles was far too low.
Yes.
In 1488, Columbus again appealed to the court of Portugal, resulting in John II again inviting him for an audience. That meeting also proved unsuccessful, in part because not long afterwards, Bartolomeu Dias returned to Portugal with news of his successful rounding of the southern tip of Africa.
Yes.
Yeah, Columbus tried Portugal several times. Then Columbus waited at King Ferdinand's camp until Ferdinand and Isabella conquered Granada, the last Muslim stronghold on the Iberian Peninsula, in January 1492. A council led by Isabella's confessor, Hernando de Talavera, found Columbus's proposal to reach the Indies implausible. Columbus had left for France when Ferdinand intervened, first sending Talavera and Bishop Diego Deza to appeal to the Queen. Isabella was finally convinced by the king's clerk Louis Luis de Santander, who argued that Columbus would bring his ideas elsewhere and offered to help arrange the funding. Isabella then sent a royal guard to fetch Columbus, who had traveled several kilometers toward Cordoba.
Interesting. I feel like I wasn't taught correctly in school.
You know, that's correct, because they told you God is real.
Ooh, ouch! Okay, that one wasn't really necessary.
But you made it so easy.
Also, I love this interaction. Oh god, I'm becoming my teacher's parents.
My teacher parents. I think Magic is saying that their parents are teachers.
It's okay, Magic. Embrace it. Embrace the teacher in you. Become one with the teacher.
I'm like, wait, Magic, what are your pronouns? I keep saying they, because I don't remember.
I think I just keep saying Magic.
Yes, but like, it's impractical to constantly say someone's name to avoid their pronouns.
That is true.
I already despise Betsy DeVos, so I'm all halfway there. You and all of us here, I assume. Oh, any pronoun. Okay.
Okay. Halfway there. Halfway there. Murder me.
No. Unless by me you mean Betsy DeVos. In which case, when did you become Betsy DeVos?
Murder the shark. Murder the shark. Murder
No,
the
didn't
shark.
we just go over how sharks are endangered? I mean, what the fuck are we picking?
Steal the professor head. Steal the professor head. Steal the professor head.
What the fuck are we picking? We've been.
Top one.
We are 40 minutes in, and we have not even gotten to Deco's palace yet.
So we're
Alright,
about
Percy.
even.
No murder or further of sharks.
Plot twist of the century would be that I've actually been watching it.
You know, that would be a plot twist to me too.
I'm not rich enough for that. If I was that rich, I wouldn't be in this apartment.
Plot twist, you're her child.
If I was that rich, I wouldn't be in this apartment.
Plot twist, you're her child.
Okay,
That would
my
be
parents are
devastating.
evil.
That
but,
would
like,
be
they're-
devastating. I'd be devastated to have done this for like almost 2 years without realizing it was Betsy DeVos.
I think
Damn,
you'd
she
also
just
be
abandoned you
devastated-
ice cold.
I think you'd also be devastated that you've known me for 4 years.
Technically,
And it's all been
more
a
than 4.
ruse. What?
Technically, it's been more than 4.
Okay, but I'm only counting when we actually started talking. Because, like, you existed, but you didn't actually exist.
Wait, are you implying that I didn't exist prior to talking to you? Schrodinger's Satan.
It's the same the other way. I existed, but I didn't actually exist.
Alright, we're gonna hang out with Percy. Percy's been taking it easy since his heart attack, only making a few passes through Mabia Day, relaxing and casually playing other games in between.
And there is Schrodinger's shark.
I wave him over as he's walking away from a round of Donkey Kong trademark.
Lovely day.
Hello, love. Lovely day, isn't it?
Lovely indeed. Although it's about to get a bit less lovely. I know you're not exactly an employee of the Funplex, even if you own a small slice of it in the form of Mr. Murphy's Magic Maze, but I could use your help.
Percy's just been watching you zone out to have this conversation with Jen. It's like, Spank? You good?
No.
Spank? Are you
I'm
there?
not-
Hello? Hello? Spank? What's wrong?
Is he gonna spank us to wake us up?
No.
Okay, I had to. Deco Nami wants to meet with me to discuss a business venture. hopefully a mutually beneficial one, but who knows?
I see. Rather serious, that. And you would like to tap my business acumen to help assess whether he's serious or simply looking to scoop up a rival?
Something like that, yeah, yeah.
Very well. I shall put my best business face on, but I'd rather not wear a tie if it's all the same to you.
Screw ties, they suck. I'm going in my hoodie. I think you can skip ties.
I'll just go gather up my things, shall I? Don't make a big deal of this. Don't make a big deal of this. Don't make a big deal of this. We're getting dinner with Percy!
I would love to see him all dressed up, though, to be honest.
I would love to see all the characters in, like, fancy formal wear. That'd be great. That'd be really cool.
Ashley's just wearing the butler costume.
You know what? I would take it. Ties hoodie strings up like a tie. That would be pretty impressive.
That would be amazing.
I don't know if you're yelling magic to yell at magic or to yell that what magic said is magic.
Or if Ashley is just magic.
Can't say I care much for the atmosphere of this place. It's hardly cozy, is it? You right?
Do you believe in magic?
I believe that magic exists and is valid as an ace.
In a Sharky place?
In a Sharky place?
Yes, in a
Wait,
Sharky
magic's
place.
at your place? Whoa! When did that happen?
Magic, why are you breaking in?
I am infinite. I am everywhere. I am Legion!
Little comment.
I say I play my best in the chaos and noise of an authentic arcade, but this feels skewed in all different directions. It's a bit too intense.
How is he gonna react to
Moopy? Oh no! He does seem pretty uneasy ever since stepping through the doors.
Is this, safe with your condition?
I feel like that feels almost slightly ableist.
It is.
It feels a little cringy in the way that a lot of the Jinx demo options are cringy. Purposely so. In the case of Jinx. What accent
was that, Sharky? Stupidity. It was the accent of stupidity. My own.
Alright, we're gonna be mildly ableist.
I don't know, magic. I have no clue. Percy? You doing okay?
Huh?
Your heart. You only got out of the hospital a few weeks ago.
Oh, tosh, I'm fine. My Deco's palace can carve a few months off of what's left of my lifespan. I'd be more worried if Francine came along. Sad.
What? Nothing's ever gonna go wrong with Francine. Nothing.
You definitely missed the part earlier where I was just quietly sobbing at the things she was saying.
Oh no, I heard you.
More tears! Wait, but I don't think Magic was here for this part.
Wait. No, Magic had to have been.
I thought Magic started joining for Arcade Spirits. Like once we hit the very, very end. And then...
Me, who has no idea who may or may not have with Francine. I'm in danger.
Uh-oh. Yeah, because Magic started joining at the end of the last run and the beginning of the Percy one. So Magic only saw like the epilogue and like what we've gone through so far with Percy. Which means, spoiler, no spoiling!
I'm in danger.
You've noticed, haven't you? She's getting worse. Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, I've noticed.
Oh no, but I'm so glad that Joe is also able to put spoiler, no spoiling now.
So is Magic.
Yay!
Magic can put as many spoilers.
Magic can yell at us not to spoil things for them.
We're about to say something and be like, spoiler!
Probably
All
for
the
the best that
spoilers.
we're here in her stead. We'll do right by her, love. No worries. I suggest we split up, roam around a bit, scout it out. I'll study the games. You're welcome to join me. If not, I'll rejoin you later.
Movie.
Okay, some time to kill, but not that much time to kill. I'll need to be choosy. What do I want to check out while waiting for my dinner date with Destiny?
Movie.
I mean, I see Joe here. But yes.
I'm thirsty as heck. Wow. What a call out.
Well, yes. Yes. I saw Joe in the first option, but we're greeting Percy, not Joe. I decided to focus on trying to find games. Like, actual games. Except the whole place is basically full of slot machines. They're in different shapes, sizes, and colors. None have a traditional one-armed bandit look, to avoid running afoul of legal issues. But they're still slot machines. Every game here has maybe a single button to stop a wheel or a colored light or try to line up the dots or something. The really complex ones, 3 buttons.
Hey,
Wow.
listen.
Hey, listen. Hold me up above your head. Visual scan, silly. I'll look for games you might be familiar with. Hey,
listen.
Listen. Hey, listen.
Spank! Hey, listen!
The thirsty option could be our second if we see fit. We've, I think at this point, gone through all 3 at
Yes.
one point or another, so either
Yes.
way we can skip. But we're not
Yes.
skipping this because we can't lose our time with Percy.
Lose time?
With a shrug, I hoist my phone high in the air. The flash goes off, then I resume looking at Iris sitting in my screen.
Please enjoy this recorded music.
Processing. Please wait. Enjoy this recorded music. Oh, actually, let's skip the music. That didn't take long. Good high bandwidth. Public Wi-Fi adhered to my cloud processors. I'm seeing lots of driving and shooting games, easy for casual players to pick up and play. Over in the esports section, there's dancing games and Fist of Discomfort. We've got all those too, but I'm not seeing any joysticks. There's no joy in these sticks.
Only misery sticks.
Or discomfort sticks. Is a game defined by having particular input devices? Well, no, not really. And I know most modern games are touchscreen based and so on, but I don't know. Doesn't feel like an arcade without a stick or two. Oh, I found something. Back of that section over there with the green lightning. Head that way. That way!
Green lightning?
Yes, green lightning.
Anyone have a favorite arcade game? Well, so most of the actual arcade games that I get to play now are at like barcade type places, which means I feel like those tend towards more particular games. But 4-player Pac-Man's pretty good.
What's never actually played?
Otherwise, I tend for Tapper and Tetris. Mostly Tapper.
See, Dr.
Mrs. Pac-Man is good. Dr. Mario I've never seen as an arcade game.
I've never seen it as an arcade game, and I really could never get into Dr. Mario, and I don't know why.
I feel like I like Dr. Mario. It's just, I've never actually seen it as an arcade game.
Mappy.
What is
I don't
mapping?
know what it is, actually.
Mappy. Oh, that is so cute. Oh wow, it's 83. Side-scrolling platform featuring a mouse protagonist and cat antagonists.
That's the mouse one, right? It sounds like it.
Yeah. It runs on Super Pac-Man hardware, modified to support horizontal scrolling.
Mappy is a mouse detective you play as, and you have to recover stolen goods from a gang of cat burglars.
I just love this. The name Mappy is derived from I'm going to butcher this. Based off of a Japanese slang term for policeman. Mappo? Mappo?
Mappo?
Mappo? Yeah, something like that. Mappo with a line over it.
Oh, Mappo. I don't know what that slang term derives from, though.
There's also the Japanese text right there.
You can try to paste it in, but I don't think that's gonna help. Ooh, scouting for a game to do Percy cosplay shoot.
There we go.
Ooh, wait, that's cool.
That is awesome.
What did you send? Where did you send? Did you send on Facebook?
Yes.
That literally just says Mappo. That doesn't help anything. You sent me the phonetic pronunciation, basically.
That's all they have.
I believe it because it's a slang term. It doesn't come from kanji. It's probably shortened. Mappo. Let's see. Police.
Wait, what? It spawned a handful of sequels and a 2013 animated web series.
Sounds like Japan.
It's fun, but they're not easy to find. Growing up, my family had a little joystick thing that plugged into the TV and had Mappy, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, Pole Position, and another game I'm forgetting.
Ooh.
Yeah, before the pandemic, I was planning on going to PAX and debuting my Percy crossplay. That is awesome. But
That is
PAX.
awesome.
Now I need to go to PAX and see this cosplay. I've never been to a PAX.
I went to one. I've told you about it.
Yeah.
I would probably have enjoyed it more with friends. And by probably, I mean definitely.
See, my problem is I don't have friends to go with.
You say that like I didn't literally drag you to a conference and haven't repeatedly offered / pressured you to volunteer for another conference.
I still do.
You do now.
Yeah, but now there's also no PAX. Also, it's expensive.
Yeah, I sort of lucked out on that because someone was selling they had like a pass for each day that they were trying to sell, and there was like they posted it in some group, and some people were like, oh, I'd like to go just for this day, oh, I'd like all like for the other days or whatever. And I just kind of, they were like trying to bargain. I just kind of swooped in like, hi, I will buy all 3 days at the like base price, which was what you asked for. I'm not gonna bargain. I just want the base thing you asked for. Thanks. But then when I went to pick up the passes from the guy, he's like, oh, so is this like for your boyfriend or something? Broke Ace PAX experience gathering in the parking lot outside the con. You know what?
Mood.
Cause is this all like PAX East or PAX? Like PAX West?
Well, time to refer to that guy.
Oh, I was tempted. There's a reason I'm a Satan, and it's actually just because sexism. And racism, I guess. Ooh, PAX West.
There's also PAX South.
Yeah, but like, isn't that in Texas or something?
Yes, it is.
Texas is hot.
It is.
I went for a conference in October and it was like 80s the entire week. I fucking hated it.
Sounds good. Oh, you normally go... Well, that makes sense to normally go to PAX East.
Yeah, I went to PAX East the one time. It'd be nice to go again, like, with friends.
Oh, no,
Because at the time I only bought, like, one set of passes because that's what the guy was selling, and it was just for me.
It's also flipping hard to still get PAX tickets, which
I know, I lucked out, as I said.
Yeah. Well, it's also getting harder and harder each flipping year, I feel like.
Yes, especially because there are scalpers.
I'm normally sitting at home staring wistfully out the window thinking, someday over the rainbow.
The funniest thing is that lyric's not actually someday.
Yeah, I know, it's somewhere.
I think I said it as someday at some point.
I know it's somewhere over the rainbow. Like, I know what the lyric is, I just don't care.
I know you don't. And I don't really care either. It's just funny. Because it's wrong.
do vaguely know things. Just not
I
the
weave
things
my
you
way
expect
through the
to
crowd
know.
past Endless Color, Cycler, ticket games, past Crane games, past Light Stackers, past games based on popular game shows.
Yes, the Deal or No Deal game, the Jeopardy
Fine.
game, the Wheel of Fortune game, the other game, the other game, the other game.
Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze.
Wait, it's only got one button? No joystick at all? Researching. One moment.
Curious, I swipe my card through the slot and push the button. And Moopy runs the maze by himself. Or tries to, anyway, before running headfirst into a monster and dying.
The real Jeopardy is doing Jeopardy review in school.
Every Jeopardy study game session in a class.
It never got heated where I was. It was never like a heated Jeopardy game. It was always like, people like, I don't care.
Oh no, it wasn't that it was heated. I'm just saying that it's like, I remember the times of teachers attempting to make their classes more fun before a test.
Wait, class was supposed to be fun?
I'm pretty sure fights started over review games in my school. That I don't think I ever had.
See,
Or at least if it did, it wasn't in the classes I was in.
We had arguments start over review games, but it was never Jeopardy. It was always like when they were doing other types of review stuff that like people would get way too serious about some stuff, and it would just be like attacking the other people, and it's like, whoa. It's not like we're getting bonus points until the teacher said, oh no, you're getting bonus points if you win.
So the teacher encouraged the violence.
Oh yes, some of the teachers encouraged it.
The machine
most was,
spits
like,
out
plus
3
10.
measly tickets and suggests I swipe again for another try.
Honestly, me as a teacher.
Fight, 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 fight!
Honestly, I would probably do the same thing. Because I'm also not a good person.
What? I thought Christianity was supposed to mean you're a good person.
Example number 1, the Crusades. Example number 2, America.
I'll give extra credit to whoever lasts longest in the ring.
Against me.
No, I'm saying this because I have literally been asked, like, oh, but if you don't believe in God, then what's stopping you from running out into the street right now and killing people? Like, basic morality. Is Christianity and fear of God the only thing stopping you from, like, mass murder? Because if so, I have other concerns.
Look, I have a very, very strong memory of one of my class trips, right? Where we were by a fire And one of our teachers seriously asked, like, the group of us still by this fire, if you weren't Christian, what sin do you think you would do the most? And obviously, murder was up there. Sex was up there.
Murder!
Like a bunch of different stuff. But it all started with, oh, if you weren't Christian, what would how much would you sin? It's like, what? Like, is this the stimulating conversations that people want to have? Ah, yes. If we didn't believe in God, what would we do with our time?
Mass murder, apparently.
Apparently. I mean, me and my friends in college frequently played Which Professor Do You Think You Could Take in a Fist Fight? Honestly, if I played that, I probably would have said most of the professors.
I mean, our professors were not exactly the type to be good for fist fights, probably.
No.
That said...
There were probably only like one or two of them that could like last a punch or two.
Like, trying to remember who my college professors were. Like, who could I take in a fist fight? Anyway.
But emotionally, imagine the 12 first ones. Oh, they'd be devastated. It'd be glorious. Will be Super Maze created in 2000X. A company bought the expired. A company bought the expired rights to the movie brand and developed a game of chance with it.
Also, Magic, your mistake, I think, when you say that, because I'm sort of assuming what you mean. I think your mistake is assuming that Sharky likes any of his professors.
If I could have had the option to fight them and get an A, I would have taken it in a heartbeat and probably would have beaten them without hesitation. Because I despise a lot of my professors that I had in college.
I mean, like, how many of the professors do you even like? I can think of maybe one that I liked, who was cool enough to, like, become the sponsor professor for our game dev club.
Him and another one.
Oh, if grades were on the line, I will suplex all of them through the concrete.
Oh yeah. The same professor. That professor was the best. Like, literally the best. And then there was one other professor that I really enjoyed. There was one I enjoyed until I heard what they did to one of our mutual friends, which was not a good thing.
Sorry, what?
I'll tell you later. Yeah, I can only think of really two. Some of them are kind of like, they're okay, and then there's a few of them, like the dude who gave me an F until past the point where I could register for classes, so I could drop a bunch of classes only to change my grade, and for me to go to my advisor and be like, what just happened? Get me back in those classes. This was a dick move. And my advisor being like, yeah, that was a dick move.
Anyway.
Well.
Fuck!
That's weak.
I feel like this works for both the chat conversation and for the context it's actually in. Hey! It's our favorite, not exactly goth girl. Well, my favorite. She has the coolest fashion. Okay. I did order this shirt.
Yeah, I think
it is a fantastic shirt. And then I discovered, like, as Joe was streaming, that this shirt is basically actually available in real life as merch for like $20-$30. And then I ordered it. And then Sharky and Joe were telling me to dress as this character for Halloween, but Actually, I don't think I can even get my hair quite that color. I can do the black part. The rest of it, I don't think that color will take on my hair, unfortunately. Wig it up!
Oh, wait, did I tell you? I came home one day and my roommate was like, how do you feel about dyeing your hair? At some point, I'm like, I don't want to get fired, so no.
I like this character a lot, and... Well, okay, so if I were to pick an Arcade Spirits character to cosplay, though, rather than this character, it would almost definitely be Jinx from the follow-up game that's currently being developed. Because Jinx basically kind of looks like me with short hair. So I would just put like a short-haired wig, and I'm done.
What would I be?
Huh?
What character would I be?
What character would you be?
Yeah.
MC. We literally made you as MC.
Oh, who are you playing as? My name is,
Spank Wafflebottom.
No, I was, Spunk Cranklebottom.
Ah, yes, that was it.
I'm Spank Cranklebottom. Who? MC of Arcade Spirits, Spank Cranklebottom. Or Spunk Cranklebottom.
Like, if I look at the picture for Jinx, I basically have a similar leather jacket thing. I own fishnet tights. I'd have to get leg brace things, but that's fine.
Ooh, Iris. That's also a very good one.
Mm-hmm. Iris is cute. Like, I feel like I'm halfway there to Jinx. She's basically my aesthetic. So...
I mean, technically, for a while, Spunk was just how I dressed.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So,
Ooh, Arizona's. Ooh, wait, what's that?
Wait.
Everyone like all the characters?
Yeah, that's what my question is. What does for everyone mean?
That's what I'm reading it as, because I mean we've seen Gavin, we've seen Juniper's, we've seen obviously the default. Ooh.
Oh, that is really cool.
That is cool.
I also find it funny how my roommate's like, man, everyone's so creative. I'm like, I'm not creative. Like these people are creative. Me, I'm not creative.
Fan art is cool.
Fan art is amazing.
Fan art impresses me.
Art in general impresses me because I'm confused how it's made.
And the Juniper cosplay. Yes.
That is just great.
Okay. Teenager puts her deco playing card on the cabinet and taps me on the shoulder, drawing my attention.
What's up?
Hey, I'm calling next, Kay.
Okay, Sue.
Excuse me, she hasn't introduced herself yet. Spoiler, no spoiling.
In my limited experience with making art, lots of crying. I mean, that's me making a stick figure.
Making art for me involves attempting to draw and then giving up. But I can do Photoshop edits. I did a bunch of Sora edits for Pride
you need
colors.
To make more. You need to make more.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about doing it for one of the community streams. I just didn't.
You need to make more.
I will do a stream purely of just go through a bunch of characters and make Ace and Arrow versions of lots of various different characters.
Do it.
How do wait? Is there a way to set up the channel points to do other things?
Yes, there is.
Okay, because I think I saw that on Mike Shinoda's where people can like request art themes and like sounds for his music mixing and stuff. And I was like, I could do that.
Yeah, we could go to the channel points and we could literally make a custom reward or custom like a challenge or stuff like that, where we could set like for 750 channel points, request a character or request a flag.
Absolutely.
Like, we
I would do that. I would totally 100% do that.
Yeah, we could totally do that. I mean, obviously channel points don't accumulate quickly, but
I mean, that's partially the point. At this point, Joe and Magic almost definitely have more than enough, though. They're here all the time with us, as we very much appreciate.
I'd be surprised if they have 700 or more. No, we've been affiliate for a little while. They probably have like 1,000 or more.
Yeah.
Crap. I forget how.
You have a life. It's here with us.
3.4. Holy.
5K. As I said, they're here with us all the time. And I think the 10-point ones are like every 5 minutes, if I remember right.
And then you get like 50 every so often.
Yeah.
Suck it, Sharky.
Yeah. So like.
So what am I going to do while you are?
Chat with chat.
Okay, I'll play a game and chat with chat with chat.
Chat with chat. Play a game.
Scream.
Maybe not actually scream, both for your roommate's sake and your neighbor's sake, and also Magic and Joe's ears' sake.
Oh right, I don't know if my roommate's back yet.
Let us hear the Sharky song.
Sharky the goldfish. That's it. I don't have any
It's
other
jolly
lyrics.
happy soul.
We don't have any other lyrics yet. We haven't parodied the rest of Frosty the Snowman.
I mean, you started putting other lyrics, but you said a corncob hat, and I was just like, you just have a cob of corn on your head? What?
Well, no, because the line is a corncob pipe.
I know. But you made it a hat, and I was just like, so you just have...
Well, the shark doesn't have a pipe. The only other thing he has is a hat.
So you put a cob of corn on your head?
No, you make the materials of a corncob pipe into a hat.
You know a corncob pipe would just be a corncob, right?
No. With a flashy tail?
Is your
Well,
tail
my tail's-
flashy?
I was supposed to say, my tail's not that flashy, is it? I can't really see it. It's on my behind.
We'll tell your friend that you commissioned it from to add a couple just flashing lights on the tail. Seizure warning.
No, actually, we need to check up on her. See how she's doing. I do.
Streamlined tail.
I
Flailing tail.
I am actually just kind of really happy for eventually having like the winter version.
It should be flailing tail. I think that's it.
Wait, what?
With a flailing tail.
Yes, it's going to be a winter shark.
Excuse me, spoiler no spoiling your own goddamn icons.
Winter themed Sharky. When sharks attack.
I'm still waiting for the default version of my thing.
Yeah, I know.
For right now, I guess Joe and Magic wouldn't know this. The picture for my icon is not supposed to be me, just in case anyone was confused. That is not me. That is Crow from Final Fantasy 15, Kingsglaive movie. Captain America, the Winter Shark.
Am I a...
Joe, is your Discord icon you?
Oh, that's
turn.
cool. It took me a second to realize that Magic's was Link.
Yep. that the same Molly?
Yes, Jedi Link.
Ooh.
That is awesome.
Yes, I've asked the same artist as did Sharky's icon to do one for me because I guess they should match on the stream for consistency's sake. But the one I have was drawn as a goodbye present for me because it's one of my favorite characters across anything. It's really matching just for the stream. But like the stream is 80% of what I use Discord for, so...
Wait. We're friends? When did we become friends?
I thought you were just my minion.
I thought you just tolerated me.
Don't ruin this for us, Satan. What do you think it is my job to do as Satan?
Like
I'm here to ruin things. Hi,
Pie! I am here! Also, I am yelling for some reason! Sorry!
Hi, welcome!
If you didn't know, we have a Discord now.
Oh, yes.
Which is what we were just talking about, sorry.
Yes, a Discord in which you can use lovely emotes like the ones that we also now currently have.
Like further. And spoiler, no spoiling.
I
and
shall again
confused
put
noises.
a very temporary,
Which chord?
Discord and chaos! Okay, here's the 1 hour link so that people who may want to troll us later. We do not have a command, sorry. But I've been very exclusive with the invites. So here's the 1 hour link for Pi and anyone else who may be watching who hasn't joined yet, if they would like to join us on Discord. We have a Pi in Discord! Yay! Truly groan-worthy pun. I would like to know why it's called Discord, actually. But I like it as a name, because it implies chaos. I really think actually my name probably should have been Chaos instead of Satan, because I feel a little silly if I assign things on Twitter as Satan to people who may not know about our channel. Not silly, just like afraid that they'll feel offended because a place to make chaotic loud noises didn't really roll off the tongue. You know, fair. And I wish I could play D&D over Discord with friends, but the friend I have that DMs things refuses to do the Final Fantasy tabletop for us. Also, I just realized I think Sharky dropped. I died and I'm coming back to life. Oh, Sharky. Sharky. Someday he will realize that he's not actually allowed to die. Anyway, so Sharky said that if we didn't tangent too badly, we would actually get to the fall of Rome part, but it is us, which means that we do nothing but go on tangents and just chat and fuck around. So we are going through this quite slowly. Tangent City! Neighbor cities to sine and cosine. Population this stream. Wait, do we make a whole small city where the stories are varied and the jokes are witty? Are they witty? I feel like we make a lot of bad jokes. I feel like the joy of the jokes is that they're not always that witty. More like a township, perhaps. Yes. Ah! Sharky said his power just went out for a second. Tangent City, where the stories are varied and the jokes are shitty. There's your rhyme. Well, Automod might get mad, but I would be pleased. Automod and I are also kind of not friends. I just get away with it because I'm speaking out loud instead of in chat.
I'm alive. Oh my gosh. Ow.
You're back just in time to have Magic say swearing in my good Christian chat.
What?
He is risen. Wait, is Sharky Jesus?
He is risen. He is risen indeed. Hallelujah.
Sharky lives.
Oh, jeez. So what happened while I was gone? Sorry.
A lot of nonsense. Tangent City. Pi is here and also enjoying being here, I hope. So much nonsense. Basically just nonsense. You've missed basically what you always would miss on here, which is just the nonsense and chatter.
I don't even remember what I was saying. All I know is I was going to say something and then went dark.
I am enjoying being here. I'm glad. I'm sorry I missed Kingdom Hearts again today.
I am just a quick Kingdom Hearts killjoy, so I can't join.
Gentle hangouts while I tend my Animal Crossing Island. Yes!
I was watching
all the Halloween content.
I was watching Sim Phoenix when they were getting back into Animal Crossing for the first time since July.
I was really about to quit Animal Crossing, but then Halloween came. The goth in me just can't resist. Pumpkins everywhere. Pumpkin stuff everywhere.
There's never a good stopping point in some points of Kingdom Hearts, especially when you get to the middle part of Kingdom Hearts.
So much cutscening.
If you get back to Hollow Bastion, if you go to Hollow Bastion 2...
Wait, when is Extra Life? Did that pass already?
Most of the Extra Life stuff? I don't know.
What is Extra Life? No, it's November 7th.
Yeah, that's where we are now. Makes sense why there's no good stopping point, because the best stopping point is literally from the beginning of it, is either right after Goofy dies or the
Excuse
end of it.
Me. Let me again just... Like, there's no good stopping point than Extra Life 24 Hours of Kingdom Hearts Straight from Sharky.
When is November 7th?
The weekend after Halloween.
I don't know if I could do a 24-hour. I could totally do a 15-hour of just Kingdom Hearts Straight. I could.
I mean, technically there's two of us, so technically
but only one of us has
we
a
could
capture
do
card.
24 hours with like 12 and 12.
But only one of us has a capture card, so you would have to be playing something completely different.
I know.
No, you know what's sad about it being on November 7th and 8th? If it was the next weekend, I totally would have done 24 hours of Melody of Memory. I'm not even joking.
You know, how flexible is it? I'm not actually that familiar with Extra Life other than knowing about the concept of it.
I feel like there are people doing Extra Life stuff before then.
There are definitely people doing Extra Life stuff before then. I know one of my friends keeps streaming with like raising money for Extra Life early.
When November 7th, 2020 at 8 a.m. or pick a date that works for you. So if you register, you might be able to be like, hey, we're going to do an Extra Life one.
I mean, because really, basically, like, the concept is to raise money for children's hospitals.
Yep.
And so, like, they're not going to say, oh, you missed the particular day. That means that we don't want the money for the children anymore. Like, that'd just be stupid. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good and all that. So, like...
So, I totally would set up... I would get my...
Do you want to do 24 hours of that when it comes out? Because, like, I'm not opposed. I might not be on for all 24 hours, but I'd pop in and join for a while.
I can definitely do a solid 12 hours of it. 12 to 15.
Here's what we do. We do exactly what we were talking about earlier, where you do 12 hours of that, and then I do 12 hours of Pride edits on various characters. And we open up requests.
That would actually be a lot of fun, and I totally would be in for that.
Oh yes, Pi, the thing you missed earlier was discussions of potentially using like a channel points thing to open up general requests on flag and or character for Pride edits.
I totally would do. My question is, what should I do? The PS4 version so I could get achievements, or should I do the Switch version? Because I am getting both.
I mean, whichever.
I'll probably do the Switch version.
I don't think I can do 12 hours of edits though, only because like once I have it kind of set up for one or two, like it's pretty easy.
But that's what
switch between.
Oh, that'd be so annoying for the people because it's apparently a 10-hour game to get to beginning to end.
So get to beginning to end on one and then switch to the other one.
Oh my gosh.
I would say switch first for 10 hours, then do the PS4 one.
But that's when I would say, like, if you got, like, doing just edits, that's when I would say start doing, like, small comments where you're doing stuff like, I come up with a new sexuality.
Hello, today's gender is I don't know what the fuck.
Like, that's when you do that fun stuff. But I'm totally in if we want to do an Extra Life this year. And just do stupid stuff like that. I totally would do it.
I mean, I don't know if we'd be able to raise any money, but like any amount is better than zero, so I'm also not opposed.
Exactly.
Because if anyone wants to donate to children's hospitals, like I'm on board. Yeah. My gender today is the sparkly cupcake with sprinkles on it. My gender today is this black skull-shaped mason jar that I drink water out of. Actually, that's my gender most days. What the fuck is gender?
Your gender sounds delicious. Oh man. But should we register for that and set up a day for that?
I'm all for it. Like, I'm not opposed.
I just would actually have to order Melody of Memory because I haven't ordered it yet.
You haven't ordered it yet?
Why the
fuck not?
Well, okay, here's why.
Ask before tasting somebody's gender. Yes.
Okay, here's why I haven't ordered yet. I was... Gosh dang, you guys are too funny. Why I was waiting was I was hoping for Square Enix to put the bundle of the soundtrack and the game to get the extra soundtrack stuff onto their store, but they haven't done that yet, and it's kind of close, and I kind of want to lock it in, so I guess I'm not going to get that, and I'm just going to get the soundtrack whenever it cuts out. That's why I haven't ordered it yet, because I'm a nerd who wants the Kingdom Hearts 3 soundtrack too much.
I mean, didn't you say that you're going to get both?
Yeah,
just get one of them to make sure you have it, and then wait on the other one. Let all the genders mix for the ultimate flavor. I feel like another good gender is just sweats anxiously. What the fuck do I say? I don't know.
Actually, let me pre-order it right now. Let me pour
hints
over
of
the
oak,
Switch version.
like a fine bourbon.
What?
Hints of oak in the tasting of all the genders mixed together.
Wait, what? Why isn't it showing? PS4 version, go over to Switch.
We're never finishing this section, are we?
Not.
Did you read this line at any point?
Crap, I'm probably not going to get it for the 14th. Unless Amazon's really good at getting this to me on day one.
Amazon's pretty good about delivering it on time if you've pre-ordered.
I've never had it show up day one.
From
Never.
Amazon?
Yep, never.
I feel like I've always gotten it. It's just not always like at the beginning of the day. It might be later in the day, but
I've ordered stuff from Amazon games pre-ordered. I would normally have been getting it like 2 to 3 days later.
I mean, I had to march my ass all the way to like FedEx or something on the day of the 15
that.
drop, but I got that day one.
I remember
That was
that.
No, wait, was that through Amazon? I think it might have been through Amazon because I remember that Amazon used to do like 20% off pre-orders.
There, I just ordered the Nintendo Switch version of Melody.
Gotta go and wrestle it from Jeff Bezos, who also owns Twitch. Fight
yeah,
me,
whatever.
Bezos.
Knock yourself out. Fight me. Or fight me. Wait, I'm pretty sure Sharky did. Sharky did what? Wait, what? I'm confused. I'm sorry.
I think that was when I was asking. Thanks.
Oh.
I'm the master of this game, you know? The master.
I don't remember, so I just reread it.
The key is to time when you push the button. You'll avoid the nasties that way. It's not great for tickets, no, not great, but it's movies, so that's cool, yeah? Old school, represent. She extends a fist to me and I look awkwardly at her for a second before I realize I'm supposed to fist bump. I've yet to play a real Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, the real deal. Always wanted to.
This lost child is the lost child right now.
Who is this lost child? Her name is Teenage Retro Gamer.
Mm-hmm. You should come down to the Funplex. We've got one. I'm the event coordinator there. I'd be happy to comp you a few tokens. We also got a high score chaser who can offer you tips.
He's in Deco's Pals right now, in fact.
Oh, is that Italian? Have fun with me. I'll send you the address.
Seriously? Fuck yeah, you're cool for an old person. Super cool. Old? I'm barely 10 years older than this kid. But whatever.
We're not going to get through this chapter.
He can offer you tips, just not the best tips. That's exclusive to Spank. I'm trying to get at least to the end of the Deco's Palace section.
Yeah, we're not, unless we start skipping hard.
I'm only doing this properly right now because it's the Percy scene. Everything else is skip.
Okay. Well, we haven't even seen Percy.
You know, my crew used to go to this great little arcade on the other side of town. Till Deco's Palace bought it and scrapped all the games. Now it's all kid stuff for kiddies. My hopes for this business meeting now sinking.
Choo choo. So, did he sell off all the classic games?
Nah, he scrapped them, trashed them, saw leftover smashed up bits of the Ms. pack behind the place in a dumpster. Joe, your favorite, it's in the dumpster. It's a fucking shame the way the old man always 86's unwanted games. Guess he doesn't want competitors getting their hands on him, no sir. She gives a shrug. I can't say I like it, but what can you do? That's life.
Like most of life, in the dumpster.
In 2020, yes.
Welcome to 20XX, the dumpster year.
I mumble a thank you, then wander off a bit dazed. So, this is what's become of Moopy, has it?
Sorry you had to see this, Percy.
I'm plenty offended to take all the mental leaps of dexterity out to escape the maze out of the game's folly, but I'm hardly angry. It'd be silly to be angry at something as trivial as this, and he can't purge the real Mr. Moopy from this world even if he tries. We'll always have it. Well, I'll always have it, seeing as I bought it from you. Until I've no further need of it, I suppose.
You want us to put your hair inside the cabinet?
Earth is a dumpster, I'm the possum living in it, and God is the unattended minimum wage worker dumping biohazard waste on me.
Moo.
I didn't realize that the chemical companies and the oil companies were God.
Welcome to America.
This is America. Don't catch you slipping up.
What?
Of course you don't know that one.
Is that the song? I've never heard This Is America.
It's a good song.
I've never heard
The
it.
biggest of moods.
I don't even know who made the song.
You know, the funny thing is, the artist for that song actually came to our college at some point when I was there for some school dance thing that I didn't attend.
Really?
Yeah. I realized afterwards. Because that was before the song came out. But I had heard of him, but like...
Wait, we had dance things?
Yeah.
Wait,
coincidentally, the guy who does that song is also, if I'm remembering right, Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse.
Hmm?
Let me double check. I think I have that right. Oh wait, no. He makes a cameo?
I've never seen Community.
See, I've watched a little bit of Community, but that's not what I know him from. Yeah, Donald Glover, who is also Childish Gambino.
I know that name.
Kid Arachnid is voiced by Donald Glover.
Have you seen that gif of the dude carrying pizza into a room that's on fire? Wait, really?
Oh, was it? I know he was in some Spider-Man thing.
No, yeah, I think it was Homecoming and,
Ultimate Spider-Man, he's Miles Morales.
The show?
I think so. It says the Spider-Verse Part 3 and 4. He's Ultimate in a... Yeah, and then... where is it?
Oh yeah, an Ultimate Spider-Man show. Okay, yeah, that.
Anyway.
Not. Yeah, we should say the jokey answer. Joke. We could always stuff your mortal remains in the cabinet. I'm sure an urn would fit nicely next to the coin X nicely.
You laugh, but honestly, I could see that. If not for the active biohazard issue of me being poured into the waste with, as biohazard waste from God. I'll just keep poking around a bit more for now.
Ooh, you didn't get a point. Wow. Do we actually have to choose the steady option? Do we actually have to choose the steady option?
More than a tiny glow that doesn't even reach the bar.
I'm insulted, so we should choose the basic option. Percy, if you'd like to donate the game to us in your last will, we'd, of course, be glad to watch over it. Naomi would always keep it in tip-top shape. And I promise, deco will never, ever harm it.
Moopy will always have a home in the Funplex.
I like that. I rather like that, yes.
Video game with heart condition and God is the arcade employee stuffing my body in a game console.
You guys are too funny. You are too funny for this stream.
Magic is too funny for us. Magic out-funnies us constantly.
We should be the watchers and you guys should be the streamers, making us laugh.
Hey, Magic. You wanna hop on Discord sometime?
Thank you, love. But I'm not quite pushing daisies yet and still have a score to achieve. Let's get through the day into the next day and the next.
Thank you. I was on a competitive improv team in middle and high school, and apparently you were great.
We'll just keep poking around a bit more for now.
I'm bad at improv.
I think I've had enough of the retro game abattoir for now. Where to next? Hell yeah, global competition champs. Nice. All right, Joe.
It'll be Thursday.
Joe?
Let's skip the thirst. Top because we can see.
Right. A nice bottle of champagne on ice and a carafe of cucumber lime infused water also sits before us. Deco apparently spares no expense. At least not with his
You
special
always want to skip
guest.
the thirst.
I'm sorry, Joe. We're ace here. We don't know thirst.
I suspect I ought to eat healthy. Just have a salad, maybe some grilled chicken. No cheesy breadsticks or anything of the sort. I think you ought to do most of the talking during the meeting, love. You run the stage, I'm merely one of your many players.
Okay, but like, jump in if you see.
You gonna read that? You're gonna die anyway, Percy. Might as well have the cheesy breadsticks. You know
Dude.
what? That and like, if it's all free, go for the things you want. Treat yourself on Deco's dime.
But if you see something you want to comment on, you jump in. Got it? I value your opinion.
Here for a good time, not a long time. There's a great quote in Waitress. I don't know if it was from the movie or just the musical. I don't remember. I think it might have just been the musical. It was like, it was something along the lines of like, my mom always says you can live to 100 if you give up all the things that make you want to live to 100.
I now just have the song Free Play Long Time stuck in my head. Thank you very much.
What?
Who does the song Long Time again?
Not sure how
Foreplay Long
useful
Time,
my
sorry.
opinions will be, given what I want is sort of the opposite of what this place provides. But I understand it's not really for me. An old man can't afford to yell at clouds for long. Not enough days in one's life to waste on such nonsense.
Maybe, but I still want you. I still want to know how you feel, okay?
Anyway, so Waitress is a good movie and musical.
Sure.
And that line is said in response to like the doctor character being like, oh, I don't eat sugar anymore. I gave up sugar. I don't consume sugar. And she's just like, what? You're refusing pie because you don't eat sugar?
Pie
At
would be
all?
insulted.
What?
Pie's gonna be insulted.
I know. Pie is great.
I
pie.
we also buy cake stuff, so and brownies, and I might actually start baking.
Ooh, baking?
I might start baking like cakes and cupcakes and cookies and stuff.
Good. I should make another pie. And cake.
So at some point in the Discord, I may just start like
baking shark.
I might start posting pictures of the cakes.
Yes.
Just to make people be like, cake.
Should I post pictures of cake?
Why
I think
not?
I still have a picture of my roommate's birthday cake from when we had it last month.
I'm still missing. I still want more of that.
I'm gonna post it in Discord right now.
At the cake we had when I came to visit, where we put the Final Fantasy wine in it. Make another pie. So you're replacing me?
No, we just don't want to eat you. Because if you get eaten, then we won't have you anymore, and that would be sad.
Can't have your pie and eat it too.
What? We can have our pie and eat a different pie so that we can keep our pie.
Also, please do not do baby shark. Please don't. I'm not a baby shark and I'm not a left shark.
Baking shark
or a right shark.
Baking shark baking shark.
And that is cannibalism. And cannibalism is frowned upon in most states. Anyway, what happened to beating this or do?
Of course. Once again, the staff takes care of our needs as our food is delivered promptly. And now I also want cheesy breadsticks. Faster than the other families seated here, who have been waiting some time, judging by the expansive crayon work on the kid placemats. Not surprisingly, we get a few side glances our way. Given how long I had to wait for my fries earlier, I'm shocked by the discrepancy. But before any of us can chow down, the man of the hour arrives.
And this skip button arrives.
What's that, Dekonami?
Crap, what was his voice?
You made him, like, weirdly nasally.
And do I care?
Hi, can I order the dino nuggets? Yes, I know I'm a college student. Also a big mood.
Hey, can I just have the kids mac and cheese? What? I know what I'm doing.
You heard me?
Give me the mac and cheese. Spank waffle bottom.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
What if we break his neck instead?
I think you're supposed to crack the jokes, not my neck. Likewise.
Percy Sinclair, good sir. Future Mr. Moopy's Magical Maze World Champion. Why not both?
Much like mac and cheese is better when the pasta is shaped like cartoon characters.
I'm not saying that it is. I'm just also not going to say that it's not. Sadly, I don't have any cartoon character shaped mac and cheese because I keep making mac and cheese from scratch, which doesn't come with the fun. Cute.
My only response is, I'm sorry, I can't declare what's better because I can't taste anything.
You should get cartoon-shaped mac and cheese. Because if you can't taste anything, it doesn't matter if it's as good as real mac and cheese or not.
It all tastes roughly the same.
See, I learned how to make like mac and cheese from scratch, which means I basically never do like the instant now. But
Sharky only likes the taste of a fresh seal straight from the ocean.
Yeah, like if you can't taste any particular difference between the instant mac and cheese and like mac and cheese from scratch, then you should have the cartoon characters because they'll bring you more joy in your life.
Literally, they taste the same to me. Kind of, they taste the same as most things.
Then you should get the cartoony versions because if it tastes the same, it doesn't matter if it's the instant. That's all I'm saying. Even if it tastes the same to you, you should give your eyes the treat of cartoon characters.
I don't look at what I'm eating. I just eat it. It goes out.
Mac and cheese with caramelized onion cheddar cheese. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. I recently
Caramelized onion cheddar cheese?
I recently did, because I got this cornbread instant mix thing, and I like to take the cornbread mix and use chipotle peppers and adobo sauce, which is amazingly smoky and delicious, and sour cream for that. So then I had all the leftover like smoky adobo sauce from the chipotle peppers in the can, and so I put that into my mac and cheese for my last batch, and that was amazing. Bat-shaped brownies. That's right.
Yeah.
I have Halloween cookie cutters. I should actually do that.
That's what I'm actually very excited for. If
it's a New England thing. Yes, I'm all the way out here on the West Coast.
East Coast, represent.
I miss the East Coast.
That's what I'm excited for, because like if I start making cookies, I can make whatever cookies I want. I can make whatever I want, and that's gonna be so much power.
I've told you to make your own cake before. You just never listened.
Well, now I am gonna make my own cake.
Good.
Right now I have a box thing, and then eventually I'll learn how to just make a cake.
I feel like box mixes get such a bad rap, but like they're an excellent base.
See, my thing is I can't taste, so it doesn't matter to me.
Then you can just spare yourself the effort by using a box mix.
Cheese. Malik's gonna come on and be like, why are we screaming cheese?
Why not? I mean, it's cheese. Why would you
That's
say
actually
no to that?
pretty cheap cheese.
Caramelized onion cheddar.
It
Ooh.
is.
Blends onions, slowly caramelized with cinnamon and clove, with mild, creamy cheddar cheese. This sweet and savory cheese is perfect for melting on a grilled cheese. Pair with Cabernet. Oh, that just says all the best things.
Midwest just gets all the cheese from Wisconsin.
Oh, yes. Look, I grew up around Chicago, so, like, yes. I remember Wisconsin basically just being, like, the land of cheese.
For being fancy cheese, it's reasonably inexpensive. Yeah, that's $6. That's not.
Although I'm like, if I have to ship it across the country, it's probably less inexpensive.
Yeah, that's also true. I wonder how much.
Well, Deco Nami?
Hi, a retro player. A dying art, really. I appreciate you coming along. A dying art because I'm killing it.
Dying art for a dying man.
I take it Francine has skip. I didn't realize until recently that most states' gas stations don't sell a bunch of variety of cheese curds. Wait. What? Fried cheese
I want.
curds? Wait, what?
I want cheese curds.
I've never had.
Deco really does have such a punchable face.
Did I give him a punchable
It's so
voice?
punchable. And
Is
you
his
know
voice
what? We're
punchable?
absolutely gonna fucking punch him later.
Wait, what is a cheese curd? What is a fried cheese curd?
It's a cheese byproduct thing, I think. It's a cheese. It's cheese.
I'm so confused.
It's a cheese product.
Okay.
It's kind of similar in texture to like soft mozzarella. Deco, get decked!
Wait, so we need to make a Deck the Halls parody that's
Deck
the
the Deco. Punch him really hard.
Fa la 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 la.
Yeah, you are missing out, Sharky. I haven't had cheese curds in a while, because I feel like the last several times I've had them were on like poutine, but I'm not even in Canada.
Have I had poutine before?
I don't know. Probably not.
I don't know if I've had poutine.
It's like more of a Canadian thing, but it's around the U.S.
Yeah, I know
like,
it's around the U.S. It's mostly Canada, but...
Oh, wait, no, you did. Because well, sort of. You had a fusion poutine thing. Because when you went to LA with me for that conference and we hung out with my friend, we went to that Indian restaurant, they had butter chicken poutine, which was amazing.
I remember the restaurant. I don't remember that.
Yeah, so I think that had cheese curds on it.
Because that was food and I can't taste.
Sounds like a Sharky problem. It's, yes, butter chicken on poutine. Amazing.
I'm just gonna sit here.
I also, because that same conference that I dragged Sharky to the year before that was held in Vancouver, so I got to actually get poutine in Canada. Oh, it was so salty, but so good.
Salty, sweet.
It's not sweet. It's just salty.
I did that.
It was very much like all the people I was with were getting high. So, like,
of course they were.
I don't smoke, but like they were all getting high.
Of course.
So I was just with them.
The Kingdom Hearts joke. I get it. Thank you. Thank you.
I know it's a Kingdom Hearts joke, but I'm saying that's the wrong time for it because it's not actually sweet.
The ice cream commercial is the best Kingdom Hearts movie.
Apparently you're sweet, Sharky.
Salty.
I'm the salty.
We'll say 10 is sweet. When did I become sweet?
I think we're kind of both salty.
Every time is the right time for a Kingdom Hearts joke. Okay, but like that is the best
I think
Kingdom Hearts
actually
movie.
that Sharky is salty and that I'm bitter.
Then who's
It's
the sweet?
salty, but also bitter.
Oh no. Here's the sweet. Chad is sweet.
Oh, they are. See, I'm not needed here. You can be
Yes,
salty and they'll be sweet.
Yes, you are. Look.
Fine, I'm also salty, I guess.
I mean, Joe's kind of spicy. Fair.
Sweet and salty and spicy is a great combination, I'm just saying.
Look,
Also, I just realized I was supposed to make rice so that I would have rice ready for dinner when I ended the stream, but guess I'm having a late dinner. Oh well. Anyway.
I cannot wait. The one thing, Professor Sharky, I can't wait to do is when I do the movie to count every time they have ice cream or mention ice cream in the movie and say, people do not drink to this counter, please do not drink to this counter, you will die.
Wait, because you have all the games. So when we do Extra Life thing, can we do drinking game party? Not with every rule, just like a couple rules.
For the Days movie? Or for just in general?
However many of them you want to do. There are 5 main flavors, one for each person in chat and Satan and Sharky. I still call bitter then. Who's umami?
Why am I sweet? How did I become sweet?
Who's umami?
And I will totally be up for having a drinking game thing and just be like, please drink responsibly.
Magic is umami. Okay, so we have...
What is umami? What is that?
Like savoriness?
What's that? Thank you.
Thank
you.
Okay, so that's sort of relatively newer.
Am I not sweet? I am pie. Exactly.
Yes, so pie is sweet.
And what am I?
And I guess...
Oh yeah, I'm salty.
Yes. So Magic would be umami, and Joe would be spicy. You're salty, and I am bitter.
Are those the only 5 flavors?
The 5 main flavors.
Okay, I can taste one of those.
Is it sugar?
No. Because ocean. the only thing I can taste is spiciness.
So you taste pain.
Didn't I joke that I'm a masochist?
Anyway, Deco, read your goddamn line.
Why don't you just skip?
Because the next one's not skippable. Because Percy speaks up.
True. Nostalgia could earn a few points off those old games. But the newer redemption games earn 10 times as much. Why bother?
Don't think so.
I'm afraid I must disagree with you on that, Mr. Nami. The question is not one of earnings. You could make far more money selling, say, refined uranium than you ever could running an arcade, if that's your only goal. The reason to operate an arcade is to sustain a dream of what an arcade can be. The reason to make it profitable is to be rewarded for your efforts in that regard. And the only reason that dream has shifted in the national subconscious is toward your redemption game focus is because you've forced that issue. I think you'd find an audience ready and willing to pay a premium for extremely high quality retro games. The Funplex is proof of that.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your opinion, Mr. Sinclair. But I think given my decades of experience in this industry, I know a bit more about it than you.
So punchable. As you like it, good sir. Percy settles down, having never raised his voice once, simply making his point and moving on, barely hiding a smirk at having raised Deco's ire. Take Deco's cane and hit him with it. You know, I mean, he's got a fucking diamond on top. That would hurt. Which is exactly why we should do it.
Oh,
I was gonna mash his skull in.
Oh, that would hurt so much, Pi. That would hurt me so much.
I could just bash his skull in.
See, that wouldn't hurt nearly as bad. Hurt me nearly as bad as what Pi's suggesting.
I see it. I see it.
There's only one choice that I say that we should always do. And that is the only choice that matters to me in this.
You want your first ever points towards Bolt?
I don't mind.
Murder time! No, because even if we cuss him out, we don't get to punch him yet.
See, every time I hear Further Time, it makes me want to do a parody of a Scooby-Doo song called Terror Time.
Deco can get recto as far as I'm concerned. I think this one was the quirky, right?
But wouldn't that be like a game over end? I feel like that's a game over end.
I think this is quirky and then it's just lol JK. Fuck off. Because I think this was steady, this was gutsy, and I assume this is kindly.
I don't remember.
I don't know, let's find out. This is going to be an unpopular decision. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
Well, I was curious.
Curiosity killed the shark.
No, curiosity killed the cat. Between the two of us, I'm more cat-like.
No, this is not the lol JK option. This is the game over.
Well, hi, Flower!
Flower showed up just to have us sell out.
Flower showed up just in time to tell us to sell out in all caps.
Should we sell out?
You know, let's just see it, because I hit quick save.
Okay.
This very well may be the wrong decision too, but I see the writing on the wall. Deco's palace is a juggernaut.
Still be there?
Hmm?
The quick save still be there if it goes to the main menu?
Yes. I know how RunPy works.
Okay.
Also, like, if we really get to that point, like, I can just hit quick load beforehand as well. Unless you'd feel better with an actual save. We're almost at the end anyway. Here, I'll make you feel better.
Thank you.
I really wonder how much of my Arcade Spirit Steam time is just consists of us sitting here, like, chatting. But anyway, hi Flower, welcome.
Hi Flower. Let's get furthered.
Let's further ourselves by selling out.
Let's get furthered.
To adapt or be crushed. Once we're on board, maybe we can make changes from within. It's a long-term plan, one that relies on getting on Deco's good side, then influencing him. But I think it can be done. What, having faith in Dekonami? Oh?
Jude knife, oh my gosh.
10 hours of playtime, 500 hours of friend time.
I'm actually very curious what your time is right now. I believe we could do business, sir.
We're at 58.5, not including today yet.
That is amazing.
I extend my hand to firmly shake his while Percy watches intently.
Capital.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Percy should be way more unhappy looking in this moment.
Oh yeah. You've certainly made the right choice. Welcome to the Deco family. Now, a handshake's hardly legal. Well, I could probably finagle a court into seeing it as legal, but...
Oh man, I'm so scared for my randomizer. You know, I feel like you should be. Because there are several points where it's just like, do you want to give up on all your dreams and basically die?
Well, she's just gonna save and then...
I know, I remember this. I'm just saying.
Well, also because you made everyone unhappy. Let's look at this as a bright new dawn for both of us. My lawyers will contact your lawyers, and we'll set up a series of negotiations for the purchase. Are you sure you can get Miss Francine on board, though? She is the current legal owner. She's put her faith in me. I'm sure I can make her see reason.
Good.
Splendid. Well then, it's a pleasure doing business with you, Nick's Waffle Bottom. I wanted to say Spankle Bottom. I look forward to the negotiations.
Yeah, it would still be nerve-wracking as hell.
Oh yeah.
Even if you quick save, like that's still like, oh god. Ooh. Well, that'll have to be our second run of it. Since the first one we have to just kind of go through going, alright, Sharky and Satan yelling at each other about which one we should pick. Again.
So our standard first run of every game, got it?
Kind of. I mean, that's what we did for our first run, especially because we did Ace Run.
See, nerve-wracking is why I'll never do a Nuzlocke Pokemon run. I would just be too scared. And I also don't like losing, would never like losing in, letting go Pokemon, so I can never do it. I can't do it.
He offers a respectful nod of the head, then turns on his walking cane and strolls away, quite pleased with himself. So, that's how it is.
Don't think so.
I can't say I approve, to be honest. Maybe if he's serious about negotiation, if he's willing to give retro games the respect they're due, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah.
Good work. Please take care of yourself and rest, though.
Yeah, please rest.
I'd hoped we would always have a home. I'd hoped I would always have a home. Does Percy break up with us right now?
Oh, did we make Percy mad? You will. I'm sure I can get some wiggle room from Opie.
And what of the other games? For that matter, what of Phrase Invaders? I doubt Deco has any love for it. I suppose it's your funplex and your decision, but I'll admit to disappointment. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Okay, Mother.
Let's drive back before it gets too late to catch your bus, shall we?
I'm sorry, Mom.
Alright, so let's do like an actually good... I know, it hurts! Percy is so upset with us.
Curse him out.
I feel like this is the Percy answer, though.
I know, but like curse him out, that's the only...
Okay, who broke it?
No.
I will sell out again! I don't think we can hurt Joe like that twice. For that matter, I don't want to be hurt like that twice.
Do it for real.
No!
Trust you?
Flower, you yourself have said that sometimes you just give the wrong answer in chat to sow chaos. I don't trust you on that.
I want to go with Flower. I want to sow the chaos with Flower.
Flower's literally done that chaos sowing emote before. Several times.
I trust Flower.
Oh, you want to sell out for real?
Do it. I want to see what happens.
I mean, I assume it'll just... There's that emote. I assume what happens is that at the end of the day, for all of the other shit that happened, same as all the other choices, in the end, we don't fucking matter. In which case, much as I hate kindly, I think this is the Percy answer.
I feel like we should have one run where we sell out.
But do we want it to be this one? Do we want to hurt Joe this way? Because Percy's very clearly upset with us for it.
We can do it on another run, but we need one run where we sell out.
Fine.
Okay. As long as we get one run where we sell out.
I was about to say Ashley, but then I was like, wait, we already did Ashley's.
We already did Ashley.
But Ashley would be the one where it makes most sense, I feel like.
Yeah.
Maybe Queen Bee.
Maybe
we'll
Queen
do
Bee.
it for the next one. No, but Queen Bee is, I'm like, fuck you!
Joe's saying sell out.
Oh.
Joe is saying sell out.
No, but I want Percy to like us. This is the Percy run. The best run for selling out is Naomi.
Then let's do it, Naomi.
She gets pissed.
Of course she does.
Of course she does. I mean, Percy's already unhappy. Technically, I feel like Gavin's would be the most neutral, other than Ashley.
We should also, like, get going.
I know. Which is why I'm like, can I...
Just pick one.
I don't want Percy to hate us. Yeah, I feel like the ideal one for selling out would be Gavin, because he'd get the business aspect. So, like, Gavin would be the most sensible one for that, but Gavin's also my favorite, so I refuse.
Follow your gut, so swear.
That's
that is
your
my
gut. I purposefully keep my hands at my side rather than shaking his offered hand.
I can't do this. Oh,
Gavin completely shits on you if you sell out or be short-sighted. You know? Now I'm just curious to, like, click it for all of them to go back. Oh, we gotta go back to do Ashley's, though, then. Murder time, deco!
Again. Oh
yeah, that
God.
tracks.
Anyway, I can't do this to my family. I'm sorry, Mr. Nami, but I don't feel the Funplex is compatible with your vision of the future. We have our own spirit, our own dream, and we must follow it.
Yeah, Teo's the other one I could see. Ashley and Teo. I mean, because Ashley, like, in the first place when we get here, Ashley is less opposed. Ashley doesn't hate Deco's palace.
You are weak.
No, I'm trying to suck up to Percy is what I am, so I'm manipulative, actually.
Suck up.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow!
Why are you dishonoring me at this point? Yes, so weak. You have forgotten the face of your father. Can I please? Like, can I? No, like, seriously, can I? We're a family of gamers with deep friendships. I'm not certain that family could endure the changes you're proposing to our beloved Funplex.
I'm like, I like chaos, but I like my own chaos. I don't necessarily follow the chaos of chat. Sometimes I do,
totally
but not
follow
always.
the chaos of chat. If we do the extra live stream and they tell me go on the hardest difficulty, I'll do it.
I'm going to tell you right now to go on the hardest difficulty.
Apparently, I'm going to test it out in the demo. The hardest difficulty, apparently, pretty dang hard. One share, dishonor your pets, dispenser collection.
Fuck capitalism. Punch deco. That comes later. We're literally going to deck deco.
Deck the deco in the face.
So Sharky is susceptible. God. Look, Sharky calls me the bad influence friend. You know why? Because I'm not that easily influenced, but I influence him in bad directions. Leave Pez out of this. We aren't animals.
I do appreciate the offer. Believe me. I'd be glad if we could part from this meeting as friends.
Deco pauses, looking me once over before slowly lowering his hand. I can feel his eyes on me. He's obviously not happy with my answer, but we followed Francine's instructions and kept it professional. Hey, Sharky. It's midnight over there. Have you started your download?
I don't have my Switch. Hold on.
Yes, we'll leave the Pez dispenser alone. Dishonor on your lawn chair, your household. What else besides cow? Your sheep. Dishonor on your sheep. Dishonor on your Sharky. Oh, there is a Discord now if you would like to join it. Flower. You are welcome to join our silliness on Discord as well. Let me put the invite again. Sorry, we don't have a command. Dishonor on your goldfish. He knows what he did.
Wow.
The Discord command is just me personally going into Discord, grabbing the link.
And Melody of Memory demo is downloading.
Great, good.
I'm guessing that noise was a flower.
And Flower is in Discord. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Where we have links to Cheese and Sinning Space, Ace Noises Space, Sharky Space.
Every time I see Two Flower, it reminds me of the song at the end of Plants vs. Zombies for some reason. And I'm sorry. What is happening? What is happening?
It has come to this. Oh yes, we also have emotes and affiliate status
by
now,
the way, yeah, we are affiliate, by the way.
Which is mostly thanks to you because you were so generous to give us that demo so all the people saw us. So really, we just owe you everything. Thanks, Flower.
So that means we should give Tim a sub?
Yes. How do I do this?
You hit the, if you hit the give sub button, you can actually, you can give to a specific user, and you can start with Two Flower.
Ah.
So, like, I could literally type in Two Flower, click on it, and you can give to a specific, like, you can give to how many months and what tier. Just like that.
Oh.
Hi, you're so generous.
It's okay. I'm bad at keeping up with Discord, but I mean, I have to keep up with this one because it's ours.
I also find it funny because Pi doesn't even have a sub herself.
So we should gift one to Pi.
And now also Pi has a gift leader.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
that's the funniest. That is the funniest. Anyway, we should continue.
What's that? We should gift a sub to Pi? I say this, but I don't actually know how to do it.
Oh, for Pete's sake. I don't have my wallet on me, so...
They had a PayPal option.
I don't have a PayPal.
Who's Pete?
According to Catholicism, St. Peter at the pearly gates, but I am not Catholic, I just say the saying because my family is old.
You know, I was gonna make the Kingdom Hearts response, but okay.
Look, I'm not talking about Pete. Because, like Gavin, I'm fixated on ethics. Flower, you can sub whenever you want. You could sub whenever you want.
Look, Gavin does not get enough love.
And
but Gavin is a very good person.
No,
also
Flower,
fixated on ethics.
Here's why you should sub during your own game, because all of our money that we're getting from these subs is being donated.
Oh yes, I have not, again, I haven't properly announced any of this, but my intention is that whatever money we get from subs and stuff, I fully intend to just donate to like the Trevor Project or something, because like I don't need it. This is a side thing for us.
So like never feel bad, because your money is going to go to a good place.
Basically all of our thing is like Extra Life, but instead of children's hospitals, I would like to donate it to ACE and other LGBTQIA organizations.
Why not? But like also, we should do Extra Life, because why not?
I mean, we should also do Extra Life. Yeah, pride thing.
Also, let's get through this, please.
Yes, there is nothing he can do but accept our answer.
I see. I suppose I should thank you for your candor in turn. It's difficult to find people in this industry willing to show respect to their elders.
Uh-huh, so Sharky. About cussing him out. Don't worry, we're doing that next time.
Cool.
I mean, next time's Queen Bee. We have to.
Yes. I'm not closing the door on the idea of a partnership, mind you. But if you'd like to go it alone for now, who am I to get in the way of that?
As he rises up from his chair, he takes a deep breath in. He turns away for a split second before rounding back and looking me dead in the eyes. What? We're dead inside? We're dead in the eyes?
Mood. But beware, if we are not partners, we must be rivals.
We already were.
You understand, yeah?
It'll bring me no particular pleasure, but I'm afraid that I cannot allow a rival. I am obligated to bring the full weight of the palace to bear on you.
We are not
Rivals
dating
love it.
Dakonami.
Oh,
Joe, I feel like that's thirst gone a little too far.
that's the wrong kind of thirst.
The only thirst I have toward Dakonami is to deck him.
Deck the halls with Dakonami. Fa la 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 la.
I ain't obligated to do diddly squat, Dako.
Hopefully, one day, you'll realize the error you've made tonight.
I'm like, how does one...
Rival, you utterly destroy
Gift
them at every
subs.
opportunity. How does you go on Twitch, like you go to our channel.
Yes,
Right.
but if I gift more subs than there are people, what happens to them?
If you if let's say you gift 10 subs, it will gift subs to our followers list. So any random follower who we have could literally get a sub for us. It doesn't necessarily even have to it doesn't necessarily pick from the people who are here. It picks from just the list.
That's kind of less fun.
Well, that's why you can gift it to specific viewers. So you could gift it to a bunch of you,
Yeah, okay.
you could give specifically to Pi or to them.
I'm like, what if I got really generous to myself? Which I guess, since I'm donating it all, is really generous to charity. And gifted everyone the further level.
You could literally do 5 tier 2 subs.
But there's a 20% off, it says, for gift a
Tier
sub
1.
for the first time, I think.
Tier 1
Oh,
only.
tier 1 subs only. Only gifts of 10 or less.
If you do tier 2, then
Well, that's
What
less fun.
it is the full amount. So
Fine. Let's get through this and then I'll be generous.
okay. I already read this line.
Am I not generous?
And as a sign of respect, your personal offer to join my empire will remain open, Mix Wafflebottom, so you can escape the inevitable fall of your little arcade.
Once more, Deco turns sharply on his walking cane and walks away from the table.
Lovely.
I don't know how that would react if, like, let's say Joe was gifted a tier 2, since Joe already did the tier 1. That would be interesting.
I'm wondering that specifically, in fact. But we'll find out. Well, quite tactful, aren't you? I can admire that. Keeping your cool under fire is a key attribute of champions. And you did the right thing. You kept the Funplex family together. Moopy, the real Moopy, will always have a home.
Much obliged.
Thank you for bringing me along. It's a pleasure to watch you work. Shall we return home?
The only thing falling will be you on my knife, Deco. I love you,
Knife, fist, directly into the trash can. With Deco hosting us, we don't have to worry about paying the check. We drop a quick tip on the table for the wait staff because you should still tip your waiters and quickly abandon ship. We scoot out the door, and from there, it's a short jaunt across town back to home sweet home.
Okay.
He fell onto my knife. He fell onto my knife 10 times. I know what reference you're making.
Thank you for the stream, chat.
Did my best not to make enemies. We're not done yet. But
What?
I'm guessing...
No, we're done.
No, we have to reach the actual thing.
What do you mean thing?
He had it coming. I'm guessing I made a powerful one anyway, despite my diplomatic efforts. As I continue to anxiety loop, replaying every moment in my head, something steals my attention. A shimmering beam of hope and happiness. My best friend, Juniper. He only had himself to blame.
I gave him the thanks but no thanks very politely.
We're gonna end at the natural cutoff point.
Wasn't that a good natural cutoff?
No. Because you know which one I'm talking about.
That's gonna be a while.
Not if we skip.
Yes, it will. I mean, he still vowed to annihilate us, but at least he was sort of nice about it and promised me a job after he destroys all I hold dear.
We did send her to the graphic design firm again.
Yes.
Look, Percy likes practicality, right? Also, like... I think it's okay. Anyway, I like graphic design, so maybe I'm biased that I don't think graphic design firm sounds that bad.
Hana means family, Sharky. Family means you have to participate in things you would prefer not to do. No, it doesn't.
That sounds very much like what family means.
Well, then can I burn my family?
Huh?
Can I burn my family?
Yikes. We already lied to her several times.
Yikes, indeed.
But hey, that's a good thing. It means he's scared. He wouldn't have tried to woo you to his side if he wasn't worried about what the Funplex could become. Try to see the positive.
I guess, but it's still worrying.
You're gonna burn us. Well, I mean...
Like fire.
I am
like
Satan.
Fire.
Setting people on fire and torturing them in hell and eternal flaming misery. Sounds like what I do. Well, let's not stand here and drum up a whole bunch of anxiety. That's not gonna help with anything. Oh, why don't you take your mind off of things and binge watch some cartoons with me?
Please, Professor Sharky, have mercy on our poor innocent soul.
Have mercy.
Have mercy. Tempting, but another skip.
Fine.
No, like, seriously, I do need to go to bed, though. Like...
Yes, yes. The end of this, because that's sort of the next natural cutoff point to what we just went through. Don't do it, Juniper. I binge-watched 30 episodes of DuckTales and my dreams got weird.
Old DuckTales
Yes, I saw that tweet, Flower.
Old DuckTales or new DuckTales? Like...
My phone goes back to sleep. And I do not. Some hours later, my body just passes out on its own. I vaguely recall my alarm going off a few times, but under protest of its mistreatment, my flesh refuses to submit to its siren song. New DuckTales, I guess.
Oh no, new DuckTales is amazing. I love new DuckTales.
Scottish inner monologue. Meaning it's nearly noon when I finally rouse. Okay,
yeah.
I'll save here.
Yeah, no.
And this is where we'll pick up next time.
I'm super excited for the 3rd season for when it eventually comes on streaming services because, like, having an hour long for Darkwing Duck, having, like, Chip and Dale, having Goofy and Max in it, they make a Quack Pack reference of all things, like, oh my gosh, it's so good and I'm so excited. And Magic? Magic?
Magic is baby.
Magic is baby.
Very, very baby.
See, I grew up with old DuckTales, and I watched the movie of all things so many times. Yes, yes, Flower, yes. I am right there with you on that. Also, the whole thing, like, with Fowl or whatever they're called. I'm so excited to find out more. I'm so excited. Yes, but I don't know who that is or that song. That is very true.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
As we went over earlier, Sharky is quite clueless about other things.
Okay, but like old Disney cartoons, I got ya. I'm sad that Disney Plus doesn't have the classic Aladdin.
Haha. There we go.
So now we're tied with Pi on who has the most gift subs.
Don't worry. I'm working on it.
Oh no, I'm scared. Oh no, I'm scared.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no, some random people are gonna get gift subs. I'm scared.
No.
Good. You should be terrified. Spoiler, no spoiling, Pi.
Oh.
What?
A gift subscription to this channel is not available for this user.
For who?
Joe.
Oh, because they're
I
doing.
guess because Joe already has. All right. Well, you know, Malik is also. Malik's here a lot, despite the incredible time difference. So it's Malik Music Magic, right?
Malik Music Magic, yeah.
Well, I can be generous to Malik. Yep. Boop. And it's thinking. And it went.
Tier 2 to Malik Music Magic. Oh my gosh.
The other person who is here for Furter.
The other person who was here for further. Thank y'all for joining.
I guess I'm not allowed to give more tier 2 to people who already have tier 1. I'm sorry.
Well, to people who have specifically put in their own, I'm guessing.
I guess? I don't know how it works.
Because Joe specifically subscribed instead of being a gift sub.
I don't know how it works. I feel like they should just give me a discount on changing it to tier 2 then, but whatever.
Twitch is stingy.
Twitch didn't bother, like, programming in that functionality. More specifically, I guess.
Anyway, thanks for joining.
I just glanced at Discord and I'm like, I feel like Flower's in danger because everyone's threatening him with furter.
Welcome. Further.
Well, thanks for the support.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for yelling at us to sell out, Flower, even though we didn't do it this time.
We'll be back Friday for something.
We'll do something or other. We'll be back sometime in November for Extra Life, apparently.
I might be doing way too long in Kingdom Hearts at that rate.
Well, yeah, thanks for joining. Bye-bye. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.